right. Now, speaking of double talkers, we have Draya Michele, who is trying to use Mariah Carey as an example of people who are hating on her. She is suggesting that her relationship with Jalen Green is viewed by people in a manner of double standard because there's other relationships with age gaps and no one says anything about them, but y'all want to say something about me. So we talked about Draya Michele before on this channel. She recently went viral for posting about Jalen Green's recent contract extension
Hmm.
because let me get the
Mhm.
link up here real quick. So
Mhm.
yeah, so she recently went viral because she posted on Jalen Green's contract extension, and that had people calling her out for being a predator because she's what is she 39 and Jalen Green is 22,
Mhm.
and people are saying, you know, you're gonna post about this dude's contract extension, talking about how we balling, and you preyed on this boy who don't know no better. He 22 and you 39, blah blah blah. So she's been dealing with this internet uh blowback for some time now, where people are commenting on the nature of her relationship with Jalen Green, particularly given the age gap, and her baggage. And apparently, Mariah Carey is believed to have something going on with Anderson Paak. And the age gap between Mariah Carey and Anderson Paak is the same, 17 years. And so Draya Michele is like, hey, look, she's older than him by 17 years. You know, why ain't y'all hating on them the way you hate on us? Double standard, double standard. So that's what we're going to talk about here. So this says Draya Michelle's double standard take on Mariah Carey and Anderson Paak's potential romance blows up in her face. Over the last week, the internet has been shipping Mariah Carey and Anderson Paak hard. The two megastars have been sparking romance rumors thanks to some photos of them at dinner together in Aspen, Colorado. Their catch steak link up was light and fun, sort of how first dates are supposed to go. Pack was seen placing his hands on Carrie's back while opening the door for her heading inside. They were also laughing and all smiles throughout the evening. They went on to leave separately, however, but their second date was a bit more intimate, with Pack kissing the R&B singer's hands and her placing her hands on his chest. That meeting took place at a Mediterranean joint called Dumani. Here, they were able to share more alone time, 2 hours of it, in fact. On top of this, Pack was seen potentially buying some Christmas gifts for Carrie and not denying the possibility either. You never know, he told the Shade Room. Still, though, they have yet to confirm that they are an official item. It's been reported that they are recording some music together at her Aspen studio. While this has been a cute story to follow, Draya Michele isn't exactly in the same spirit as everyone else. The reality TV star and her partner, NBA guard Jalen Green, have constantly faced intense backlash for the 17-year age gap in their relationship. She's 39 and he's still only 22. We bring this up because Mariah is 55 and Pack is 38, ironically, a 17-year separation as well. Because of the energy she's been seeing around this potential budding romance, Draya Michele is calling out the double standard. She appears happy for Mariah, writing, "That's that 17-year age gap smile. Go Mimi." However, she couldn't help but add, "which all selective asses" after it. Since making this statement, Draya Michele has been getting absolutely torched for her attempt at see it's the same thing. Drea is doing her best to redirect that smoke elsewhere. LOL one X user writes, the difference is Drea is dating 20-year-olds for survival because she doesn't want to work for her own. Mariah is richer than the men she dates, and they aren't the same age as her kids, another points out. Unfortunately, Drea is going to have to ignore the noise as best she can going forward. So there is a recap of all of this. And so, you know, there's what Drea had to say there, which all selective ass is. So, do you buy what Draya Michele is attempting to sell? That there's a double standard in play, and that, you know, her situation with Jalen Green is the same as Mariah's situation with Anderson Paak, and people need to keep the same energy.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I more or less agree with that commenter, basically just saying that, all of that stuff about her making more than whoever she dates too. I mean, you could throw that in the mix too, but Anderson Paak's 38, his damn self. And so at that point, you're in grown ass man status. And if you're in the Krugers like that, all right, bro, do your thing. And if you want to, get into a situation like that at the age that you are, I think at that point you're old enough to make that call yourself. And you know what I'm saying? Do your thing. Gap be damn. But the situation with Jalen is that, yeah, man, he's 22 now. So I don't know when they started talking, when he was either 21 or 20. But the thing about that was, Drea clearly, um, it seems as though, and I don't know who pulled the first punch. I don't know if he DM'd her, or I don't know how they want to swing this, but still, it's still in the situation of it comes off very predatorish, from the Drea perspective, in the sense that she's just following the Brittany Renner handbook. And there's women out there that um, have nothing going for themselves, and they just attach themselves to a young dude who, what I'm saying, just like the bus, what I'm saying, and get his head all wound up, tangle their little web. And, next thing they know, that these women get pregnant, and now they got, child support and a steady stream of income for the next, 18 years. So it looks as though Drea played that card, and that has nothing to do about whatever Mariah Carey appears to be doing at this point. This is more of a Stella got her groove back kind of situation. She's just trying to knock the dust off that. But Drea, it was more of a predatory play of, I made an investment for the next 18 years where I can get a solid check and a lifestyle that I want to live off of. So it's just a complete difference in how this whole situation came about. So it's not so much the 17 years, it's the circumstances around it. So nice try, Drea, but I don't expect nothing less from you. This this seems to be right in line of your logic. Doesn't reach too many floors up, not too many tiers. And hey, but who am I to talk crap, man? Her plan worked. So I can sit here and poke fun all I want, but she's gonna be crying in her Ferrari. So what are your thoughts, man, on the internet jumping on Draya Michele for trying to say that, hey, y'all, this is a double standard out here. You guys are hopping all on me, but not Mariah Carey. What gives? What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I'm with the internet. This woman she just needs to stop talking. She just needs to stop talking and just accept her victory for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she needs to be less concerned with trying to convince everyone else
Exactly.
that that she scored a victory, and to
Mm-hmm.
just live with the fact that in your mind you scored your victory.
Mm-hmm.
You got your next meal ticket, so just ride off into the sunset, because there is a difference. There's a difference between, there's a difference between 40 and 20. Like a 40-year-old dating a 20-year-old is different than a 60-year-old dating a 40-year-old. Like
Exactly.
it's not so much the age gap per se, it's the years that we're talking of the people involved.
Yes.
Because no one bats an eye at some of these age gaps of these other celebrity relationships and these high profile relationships, where it's usually the man is significantly older than the woman, but usually the woman's like over 30 and the guy's like whatever. The
Mm-hmm.
the chick isn't barely out of high school
Right.
or in their early 20s, and this is a grown ass man who's in his 40s or 50s. Like, I'm sure it's happened throughout history, but for the most part it isn't really about the difference in years, but more so the years themselves.
Right.
Additionally, it bears also mentioning, and we must also keep this in mind, that she has a child who is Jalen Green's age.
Which is crazy.
Like, let us not fail to mention that. Jalen Green's 22. This woman is her oldest son is 22. Like, they can hang out together. They're in the same cohort. And a woman who is comfortable to extend herself in such a way that she gets into a relationship like that, I believe that it says something about her outlook on life in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the kind of thing that people are harping on. No one cares that you're 17 years older than him. They care about the fact that he's still a child and you're a grown woman. And they care about the fact that you've accumulated all of this baggage in this industry scan and you have a child who's just as old as him. So it just seems weird and just kind of icky. But people in her position, and I think the biggest takeaway from this is we must keep it in mind that just because a person has a platform and just because they have a lot of followers, it doesn't mean they're smart. It doesn't mean that they're intelligent. It doesn't mean that they're intuitive. She says stuff like this, which exposes her lack of intuitiveness and her lack of overall intelligence, in my opinion. She is unable to understand the nuanced difference between her relationship with Jalen Green and Mariah Carey's supposed relationship with Anderson Paak. She, in her mind, truly does look at them both as the same, which shows the elementary grade level mind that she operates with on a daily basis. Therefore, all of her expressed opinions should be ignored by most people who know better. That should be the main thing that people take away from this because there is a difference. And she's just going to have to get over it. Again, you did your thing, you won, you succeeded. This kid is unsuspecting, and you were able to successfully, reel this guy in and just live with that. But stop trying to convince the world that what you're doing is somehow pertaining some level of like normalcy or nobility. People are going to have stuff to say because there's something that's a bit odd about the circumstances that are surrounding your association with this guy. But again, as I said before, and I will say it again, I don't totally fault her entirely. She is giving into her nature, which is to leverage her womanhood to get what she wants out of life. That is her nature, and she's using that to her advantage. I am always going to look at the man and hold the man responsible for decision making. And so I look at Jalen Green and I say everything that happens henceforth is going to be due to your decision making or lack thereof.
Mm-hmm.
And you deserve everything that you get as a result because there was a lot of evidence and case studies and background information right at your fingertips just on your phone. And if you stream TV shows, you could have watched past seasons of Basketball Wives and seen what you could be potentially getting yourself involved in by electing to do this, and you did it anyway because that peanut butter skin and that long dark hair and that pretty exotic looking face and that body was just too much for you to say no and go the other way and get into a much more clean situation. And so he and other men in that position have no one to blame but themselves for that matter. And I don't get upset over it, as I said, because they're going to keep doing it anyway. So who am I to judge? But when you unmute to suggest that you're somehow getting the short end of the stick when it comes to a double standard, you should really just keep your mouth shut if you don't understand the nuanced way that people are electing to look at this situation, and they have every right to do so.
And I agree. So if because there's going to be more women like this in the future, who go after these young athletes. It's become a thing. So I won't be surprised if there's going to be situations in the future like that. And this so for her to try to normalize that, like the rest of the world is supposed to be okay with this. I mean, we can sit here and watch it and go, yeah, these athlete guys are dumb for doing this. They should know better. There's enough case studies. Like, we can all still feel this way, still feel that it's not normal, and still scrutinize it.
Right.
But for her to just come out to try to normalize it and try to make it a thing, and it's like, no, we're still not going to go for this. So whether Jalen wants to be like that or the next clown athlete wants to be that way,
For real.
you know, let him have it. I don't give a damn. But we're still not going to be okay with it. We still think that in practice that this shouldn't be going on like this. That these guys should be using more discernment, and and these women should have more decorum. But we're living in such a wild world right now where any damn thing goes. Everything's all jumbled up. So, stuff like this going on and starting to become the norm, you can't be surprised at that. But still, it won't be normalized over here. I don't think that was it just feels like, again, she ain't got nothing going on with herself. Just trying to secure a bag. And every time I see them, however I see them, he's an acquisition of hers. This isn't a relationship. I mean, she's literally walking around with a bag, a 6'7" bag, and that's how she's treating it. And if he's too dumb to see that, then that's on him. But I don't have to be okay with it. And real quick, just like the whole Travis Hunter situation, hey man, if you like it, bro, I love it, dude. If you want to go ahead and do this when the whole world's warning you, that's fine, dude. You're more than welcome to do that. But in that same situation, that girl is running around treating Travis Hunter like a bag instead of a man. And everybody's sitting here pointing it out. But if he loves that, if he loves that type of treatment, then so be it. Have fun for the next 18 or whatever many years you're going to be paying this girl. When you inevitably, do what you do. So sorry, Drea, we're not normalizing this over here. Just like you say, JV, bro. She needs to just stay quiet, and just go away, and yeah, celebrate her victory in silence. But trust and believe, bro. She's gonna come out and say something else, to try to justify what she's doing, but nobody's going for it. So once again, the internet redeeming themselves. We had a couple stories on here as of late where the internet was just going backwards, I felt. But this one, I felt like we're moving in the right direction again. So way to go, internet.
Yeah. And there's also not the added element of, you know, either Anderson Paak or Mariah Carey latching on to the other person for any sort of gain, right? Like Pack is already renowned in his own right for his career. Mariah Carey is, of course, considered by most to be a legend for her career. She's made her money. He makes his money. They're both millionaires, respectively. So there isn't the specter of either one of them getting with the other person because they're looking for a bag or a come up. Whereas with her situation, it is entirely speculated that that's the nature of it.
Right.
Because what is she doing or has done other than be pretty? Like no one knows because she hasn't. She hasn't. So that's the thing about it. Like you should stop unmuting. If you can't understand nuance in life and the fact that people are going to have their critiques and can't understand or fathom why they'd have those critiques, best to just take your victories as they come and don't unmute because you expose yourself for your lack of intelligence. So maybe that is something that she can figure out for herself. But judging by the way that she likes to unmute on her various apps, she's not going to figure that out.
Well, and the Anderson Paak and Mariah Carey thing is the angle that could be seen as that they're doing it for a bag is that, well, they're doing a song together. So, publicity is, any publicity is good publicity. So, hell, I ain't hear Anderson Paak's name in a long time. And the only time I hear about Mariah Carey is when she's doing a Christmas celebration or when Nick Cannon name comes up.
Right.
So, for them to be spinning this out there for the tabloids to eat up, yeah, man, people are going to be tuning in for their song. But that's what this is. This is a business situation in that regard. This isn't one person leeching off the other.
Right.
And
right.
so this is a mutual bag they'll be getting out of this. But you Miss Michelle, we see exactly what you're doing, and it's nothing close to what Mariah just did. So yeah, back off, lady. Back off.
You make a good observation too. It may be the way things are done, but that doesn't mean that people have to like it. Right. So this might be what things are. And I've relented. I'll stop complaining. Travis Hunter, bro, good luck. Jalen Green, good luck. All the rest of you guys out here who are doing this stuff, making these unwise decisions when it comes to the women that you associate with, Good luck. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to have my critiques or that I have to like it.
Exactly.
And that also doesn't mean that I don't recognize the nuance that separates your situation from another and makes it not a double standard, despite your best efforts to make people believe that there is a double standard.
100%.
Good luck, Jalen Green, bro. You're gonna need it. You know,
Seriously.
you are going to need every bit of that contract money, sir,
Yeah, for the next 17 years and beyond.
and beyond.